Okay, so at this point, we've learned about adding and subtracting and multiplying polynomials. So this video will deal with polynomial division. Okay, and there's going to be two types of polynomial division. There's going to be a long division and then this other one that's called synthetic division. But this lesson right here is just going to be about the long division. And when we're dividing polynomials, what we want to think of is how we divide numbers, right? And do kind of long division with numbers. So if I said, here, what's 12,578 divided by 3? How would we do that using long division? Well, we'd go here, we'd divide 1, 2, 5, 7, 8 by 3, right? And what's the process? Well, really, we go, all right, well, 3 goes into what? 3 goes into 12. We kind of, in our head, go on the side and go, 12 divided by 3 is 4, right? How many times is 3 go into 12? And we put the 4 up top. And then what do we do with that 4? We take that 4 times the 3, get 12, we subtract, get 0, bring down the 5. And then we repeat, right? Now we take 5 here, and we divide kind of in our head usually, right? We go in our head on the side, we say 5 divided by 3, and we say, how many times does 3 go into 5? We know it's going to be, 1, right? And then there's going to be some, but at least one time, so we put a 1 up here, then we multiply, and we subtract. Then we bring down the 7, and we say, how many times does 3 go into 27? 9 times. Multiply, 9 times 3, right? Subtract. Then bring down the 8, and 3 goes into 8 2 times. Again, we can think on the side, 8 divided by 3. We know that it's going to go into 2, and then, plus some change over here, some remainder. Right? Goes in twice. 2 times 3, 6. Subtract, and we get 2. Okay? And then we're done dividing, assuming we're not going to decimal places or anything, that we're done dividing because this right now is that's my remainder. And my remainder right now is less than this right here. And what's this? This is called the divisor, right? What you're dividing by over here, that's your divisor, right? In terms of the fraction, we would just call that the denominator. And then here, this number underneath or this number up top, right? This is the dividend. And then this right here is our quotient. Some terms, right? So we say, what's 12,578 divided by 3? Well, it's going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to our quotient, 4,192, right? So there's our quotient, plus the remainder, which is 2, right? There's our remainder. And then divided by 3, which is our divisor. Okay, so we could divide long division, right here, and say that this 12,578 divided by 3 is equal to some quotient plus a remainder of a divisor. Okay. Anytime we divide, this is one form we could write. We can write, again, quotient plus remainder over divisor. Okay. And we've done this before. Maybe it's been a little while, but we've done it. Now, in terms of dividing polynomial functions, long division, right? So we're talking about long division of polynomials. All right. That when we take some polynomial, so all these functions are polynomials, so we take some function f, our quotient, right? This is our quotient, divided by g of x, our divisor, right? Here's my quotient. That this is equivalent to some quotient. That's, dividend. Getting ahead of myself. Right? That this is equivalent to what? There's some quotient. Let's call that q of x, right? So some quotient plus r of x, right, which is my remainder, over my divisor g of x, right? This is my divisor. And now here, what we're always going to, numerically, what do we have? Why are we done dividing? Because my remainder 2 is less than my divisor 3, right? So that's when you're done dividing, right? 5 right now is bigger than 3, we divide again. 27 is bigger than 3, we divide. 8 is bigger than 3, we divide. Then you get your 2. Well, as soon as I get the 2 and 2 is less than 3, now I'm done. So here, when do I know I'm kind of done and thinking about this? Well, in this case, it's not going to be, a number. I mean, it is deal with the number, but it really has to do with the degree. So what happens here is that the degree of r of x is less than, okay, let's actually just write that out, less than the degree of g of x. Okay, so our remainder is less than the degree. Remember, the degree is just your highest power, right? So your remainder, when the highest power of your remainder is less than the highest power of your divisor, then you're done dividing. Okay, so this is the form that we're going to initially write out our answer in, just like we did up here numerically, right? When we divide these two numbers, a quotient plus remainder over divisor. So let's do a couple examples. It's similar, right? It is a little different, but there's similarities here with dividing polynomials. So here we have these two functions, x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 8 divided by x minus 1, two polynomial functions. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our division just like we normally would. Okay. So we have a little right here, x cubed inside minus x squared. We put our dividend. All right. Now, minus 2x plus 8. So make note of this here. We're going to see in the next example. I want to make sure every power is accounted for here. I want to leave some space. In other words, I have a cube, then I have x squared. Here I have an x to the first, and then I have my constant. This is my constant piece. Okay, so we have this in standard form, right? So we want to write this in standard form. Okay. And then out front, we put our divisor, x minus 1, also in standard form. So that's in standard form. Powers descend left to right. So here's the process. Once we do this, I'm going to do this on the side of here. So we have that now. So now what we're going to do is you start with the first term inside here, and you're always going to use the just the first term out here. Okay, and we go on the side just like we did numerically. We're going to take the x cubed, so x cubed, and we divide that by x, and we get x squared. So that's what goes up top. And now what are we doing with this number up top usually, right? When you have the number up top and we have the number up front, we multiply these two. Well, you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to multiply. Make sure you distribute. This is a binomial. There's two terms here. So I get x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 1, negative x squared. Okay, so line up our terms. Now we're going to subtract. And here's where you got to be careful. I'm going to suggest, strongly urge, and suggest you put that in parentheses and put the subtraction out front. Now make sure you say what you're doing. Make sure you pay attention to your signs. X cubed minus x cubed. That cancels. Negative x squared right here, minus a negative is a plus. So negative x squared plus x squared also cancels. So this becomes just 0 plus 0, right? This is all 0. Gone. Bring down the next term just like you normally would. Okay. And now you repeat. Now you take this right here and you divide by x. You're always only going to be using this first term of your divisor. Okay. So now what do? We go over here. We say, what's negative 2x divided by x? We get negative 2. Now, I just like to line everything up, so I'm going to put the minus 2 over the number, right, the constant here. And now what do we do with the negative 2? Distribute, right? Negative 2 times everything out front. So what's negative 2 times x? Negative 2x. What's negative 2 times a negative 1? Plus 2. All right, now we have this 8. You could leave it up top if you want. You could bring it down. And now we're going to take all of this and subtract. In parentheses, subtract it. Negative 2x minus a negative 2x. Cancels. Then 8, positive 8, minus a positive 2 is 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay. And now we're done. And why are we done? Because the degree, right? We're done. This is my remainder at this, right? That's my remainder. And the remainder here, think of it, anytime you have a constant, that's really a degree 0, right? There's an x to 0 we don't write. And the degree of this is 0. The degree of my divisor is 1. Like I said on the previous page, when your remainder degree is less than your divisor degree, you are done. So now what do we have? What is this polynomial? X cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 8 divided by x minus 1. It is my quotient, which is x squared minus 2 plus remainder 6 divided by my divisor x minus 1. That would be your answer. Okay. At first, this might be a little confusing. All right. Might be a little confusing. Just take your time. We're going to do a couple more here quickly. All right. Next one here. All right. You can always pause here. All right. I start, pause, and then write it down. So this one, x to the fourth plus 2x squared minus x plus 5 divided by x squared minus x plus 1. All right. What are we going to do here? Same thing. Set up our division. Now, ready? X to the fourth. Here's something. Pay attention to this. Every power count for it is going to help line stuff up and stay orderly. There's no x cubed here. So anytime you're missing a term, put a little 0x cubed here. All right, it's a little placeholder. Okay. So 0x cubed. Then plus 2x squared. Plus 2x squared. Then we're going to put minus x and plus 5. What goes out front is x squared minus x plus 1. We have the setup. Now what we're going to do is take the x to the fourth, and the first term inside here, and the only term you're ever using out front is the first term, the x squared. Okay, in this case. So x to the fourth, we divide by x squared, and what does that equal? X squared. So now x squared is what we put up top, and I line everything up. Stay neat. There's x squared. Now I'm going to do what with all that? Take this, multiply by everything in front. X squared times x squared. X to the fourth. X squared times negative x. Now here's where this helps putting a 0x cubed. X squared times negative x is negative x cubed. Okay, so now I can line up all my like terms. And then x squared times a positive 1 is a plus x squared. So we multiplied. Now we put everything in parentheses and subtract. Keep in mind, what's that going to do? It's going to change all the signs of everything in here when I distribute, and then I can add them up. Right here it just said x to the fourth minus x to the fourth. Cancels. Now 0 minus a negative x cubed is going to be positive x cubed. And then 2 minus 1x squared, right? 2 minus 1x squared. That's going to be plus x squared. Now, currently, this is my remainder, right? This is my remainder. This, and then also the minus x plus 5. And what is the degree? The degree is 3, but the degree of my divisor is 2, so I can still divide more. So what do? Take this term off to the side and divide by, again, always using this first term out front, the divisor. So now we say, what's x cubed divided by x squared? And we just get an x. So what's it? We put a plus x up here. Now take the positive x, distribute to everything here. So x times x squared. X times negative x. X times positive 1. All right, under the x, I could bring this down now, right? And then I got to take everything in parentheses and subtract. So what is x cubed minus x cubed? Cancels. Positive x squared minus a negative x squared becomes plus x squared. So now I'm going to have x squared plus x squared. This gives me 2x squareds. And then negative x minus a positive x, it's going to be minus 2x. And I still have this plus 5. I could bring that down. And this is my remainder currently, but the degree of this is 2. The degree of this is 2. So right now, my remainder degree is not less than my divisor degree. It's the same. So I divide again. First term here, 2x squared, divided by x squared out front. So we take 2x squared, divide by x squared equals 2. We're going to throw this up here. So now we have plus 2. Distribute 2x squared minus 2x plus 2. Right, 2 times these three terms. Everything in parentheses. Subtract 2 minus 2. Negative 2 minus a negative 2 cancels. 5 minus 2. And now you're done because this has a degree of 0. This is a degree 2. So my remainder down here, the degree of this is less than the degree of my divisor. So I'm done. So what do we have? We formalize our answer. Equals quotient. What's my quotient? My quotient is this stuff right here. X squared plus x plus 2 plus remainder. My remainder is 3 over my divisor, x squared minus x plus 1. Okay. And then this would be the answer. All right. When we divide, we get right here end result. Okay. So this shouldn't be overly difficult. Take your time. Make sure you're writing neatly. Line stuff up. Right. That's why this is very important. I'm telling you, you're missing a term, right? When you have your dividend here, you start with your highest power in standard form and make sure every power is accounted for. And it's going to be very important with the stuff we're doing next. Okay. All right. So here I have x to the fourth. There wasn't an x cubed. I put a 0x cubed in, 2x squared minus, this is x to the first. And then here we have our constant at the end. Okay. Make sure we have here, right, our constant. Then we line everything up. The other thing that we got to make sure is we distribute this negative and subtract correctly. So a common mistake here would be like this right here, making this 3x squared, 2 plus 1. So if you just look here and you go, 2 plus 1. Okay. That usually happens, just to show you, if you don't put this here, right, parentheses, and you just go, x minus x, and then you go 0 minus x cubed, and then 2 plus x squared. Okay. That's where that mistake comes in. So make sure, right, this helps put parentheses. Okay. And if you want, you could, as you multiply, as an option, you could go, let me just distribute right away. So essentially, it's just going to change the signs. So then that would mean you would have this. Okay, you'd have a negative here. This is an option. And this would be a plus, this would be a minus. And then you could just add them up as you see it. You'd have x minus x to the fourth, 0 plus x cubed, and then 2 minus x squared. Okay, so those are the options. Either as parentheses here, negative out front, make sure you just say it to yourself. X minus x. X cubed minus x cubed. X squared minus a negative x squared. Negative x minus a positive x. Your arithmetic is very important here. All right, beyond that, when you're done, when your remainder degree is less than your divisor degree. Okay, so watch this over. If you have any questions on anything, make sure you reach out to me. You let me know. Send me an email. We'll meet and go over it. Okay.